All right, welcome back to the 80 Star Basketball Channel, the only star basketball channel bringing you some auction information. I've been getting a lot of questions about where prices are headed. Do I think I should buy? Should I buy? Should I buy? I just want to talk about the price increases, where I think things are going, and obviously the concerns of what happened on Friday. We definitely had a macroeconomic kind of event, and especially with the crypto market, biggest one day crash ever, and really really interesting to see. And kind of, does it change things? Yeah, it definitely could, and I do want to talk to that. Real quick, I do want to mention. So I'm sorry about missing last week. I got very busy with sometimes just life, and I missed because of some birthday parties and stuff. And Tony is, he's gotten really busy too. So I'm going to be doing auctions on Sundays, it looks like now. But he wanted me to mention the Card Hall of Fame. I do want to throw that out there. I'll throw a link in the comments. But voting ends on October 21st. So he mentioned if you can get out there and vote on the Basketball Card Hall of Fame, do that. So, we have. I do want to mention one other thing really quick. I thought was an interesting sale. The Koch Moncrief did sell. I thought it was odd in this slab BCCG 10, and that must have been done way long ago, at almost 1800. So definitely an interesting sale. Because usually you don't see the rare cards. I do have a Lanier up for sale. Do want to say it's I have it for 775 OBO, but BGS 7.5 Lanier. So go check that out. But the Koch is, I do believe fully that this is the most rare card, but it is a small chance that the Lanier is the rarest card possibly. But my vote's here. But yeah, good sale here on that card. But I do want to talk now. Let's talk about what is going on. You're seeing prices explode. The good thing is we have a bellwether card actually up for auction, so we'll see where this goes. And prices kind of went up really quickly, like within a week and a half period. But to me, the demand had been gaining and the supply had been dropping. And the middle of this week, I will tell you two trends I did see, and I can show it here. You can kind of see it in the sales data with the 195 and the CK26. Prices kind of came back a little bit near the end of the week, and especially after that crypto crash. This is an odd sale to me, but I don't know if this one's correct. But even if it's not, I did see a little trend here with the 195s, kind of dipping in price. Things went up, not enough to be like, hey, is it going to crash? I still don't think that there's any type of crash happening. However, I will note that some of my peers, social media folks, are expressing caution because prices on all Jordan cards, have run up and everything, and just are expressing extreme caution. And I am, the thing that makes these cards a little different. I'm not saying buy, buy, buy. I do see this differently than the last price spike, but I'm saying that the supply has been low. Obviously, this doesn't take into account any of the macroeconomic stuff, that things can change on a dime, and things that are out of my knowledge or control, such as kind of Friday, the tariffs, and the crypto market, kind of thing that will affect people. Everything affects everything, on a macroeconomic scale. So it doesn't matter what you own; it's gonna, most likely take a hit. But and these cards are no different. And there's just definitely, what I have noticed is, right, some people are calling and they want to see like the 101 hit, this hit 100,000. I'm kind of saying I don't think you really want to see that, because if you start seeing these price spikes big, then you'll see a flood. And as soon as you see the flood, and if anything bad's happening, it can turn the other way really quickly. So really just limited gains and small, don't be greedy. And you will see this card, I think, in 5 years is going to be a lot more than it is now. And you'll see your grains. We all, it's that kind of thing, the impatience of us all. But really, it is if you're holding this card, it is in your best interest that you just see kind of slow and steady gains and throughout. But that being said, this card, I like my price predictions. I do think this will end in the 70s. I think the headwinds are the macroeconomic and the seasonal weakness. And that's really it because, and I have seen supply trickle up a little bit by the end of this week. I did see a shift kind of midweek and near to the end of the week, it's just supply up a hair and prices dropped just a hair, but they're all within range. Nothing. Supply is still low and prices are still strong. So I did want to say that, but we can look at everything. These 195s. So anyway, we had a BGS 7.5 just sell for about 9,000 a couple days ago. Right before that, a PSA 717. These are all really strong prices. BGS 8 for 14, the PSA 7 for 19. So you did see, and that's what I was kind of talking about. You see a little bit of a price dip from here to here on the same platform, a couple days apart on eBay. So that is to be noted. This PSA 5, I don't know what that is. That doesn't seem right at all. So I'm not even going to count that going in there. GAI sale is interesting because GAI, you could have a darkened back. You got to be careful with GAI in the fact of it can. I've had it. The black, they use black around the slab, and it actually end up oxidizing and kind of going out over onto the card. It can blacken the back of the card. So anytime buying a GA, sometimes it doesn't though. Sometimes the card's not affected at all, but you do have to be careful when buying a GAI slab. And just something to note in the future for yourself. So I did see. So obviously we had a huge run up on 195 pricings, and it looks like we got a little bit of softening with the Court Kings, seeing kind of the same thing. But I don't know. This price seems a little too low. But pricing strong and kind of saying what's kind of interesting is you had a PSA 5 right here with an NBA sticker, a Mike Baker sticker. So this sold strong. This one had a PSA 6 at 7,000 and 10,000, and then the same price it sold for 3 days without the sticker at the same price. So pricing right there, I would think that this one would be even a little lower. So that's actually kind of strong right there. CK26, this card is obviously phenomenal, and people are really kind of waking up to like, wow, that is a badass card. So yeah, it always has been. And this is the cult card. If you remember, I gave that phrase to it. It really does have a cult following, as it should. This is, and again, I do want to answer one. People keep asking me, which card should I buy? I really think, and this might upset a few of you folks, really focus. If you're just getting into star cards, focus on the base cards and this card. Really, there's 5 cards you should be focused on. I'm not saying the Crunch and Munch and the Gatorades aren't cool. I'm not saying that, but the ones that I see as the strongest demand and the one that will hold and have a premium to it are the base cards. And those are the ones that I'm looking at right here. And we're talking about the Court Kings, the 117, and the 101, 288, and 195. These 4 regular sized base cards and this 5x7 right here is where I think you should focus on as far as star cards. Disagree if you wish, no problems, but that is where, if I were you, I would put my focus and money to. That being said, so 101 doesn't have much going on it here. The last PSA 5, on October 5th for about 25, and that's kind of in line. Again, kind of let's look at some of these. All eyes really are going to be on this PSA 7 on Fanatics, and then on Golden we have a PSA 5 really up for auction. So I don't think that there's any on eBay, and no, there is a PSA 4 on eBay, so that's at 22.4. And again, I'm really kind of looking at now, especially with Friday's events. I don't want to get too wound up over a single event, but you have to note it, and you have to be aware that those things are happening. And my thing is to bring awareness and facts, to what you're looking at and doing. So really trending, it looks like to me from a bigger picture, supply did creep up just a hair, not enough for any kind of like panic or anything, but and we are definitely looking at very strong sales, and we are seeing also, kind of little macroeconomic concerns coming in, little seasonal weakness coming in, but supply is just too low for any type of damage, as far as pricing. So that's kind of what I'm looking at things and thinking about it. And people ask me, should I, buy a 101? And it's really, the answer is same kind of lame answer I gave you before. If you love the card and really want it, it's very hard to time the market. Do I see the market crashing? Nope, I do not. Especially after two times of going up, and this one with more demand and lower supply. So, again, if you love the card, get it. And that's just kind of where I stand on that. So, anyway, yeah, if any information, put in the comments, any other sales, I'm sure there's a lot. For everything else is still kind of trickling up and solid for the Hall of Famers and the rookies and set action and bag action and kind of all those things. So everything seems pretty solid. Anyway, like and subscribe. I will see you at the next video.